Hi, my relatives. Welcome back to another episode of Our Storytellers. Today's episode is brought to you by our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office. Thank you so much to our partners for producing this content, allowing us to bring these Squamish Nation stories to life, or to share them, I guess I should say. But on today's episode of Our Storytellers, we're joined by Deacon Rennie Nahanee. Rennie has been involved with the St. Paul's Catholic Church for a multitude of years. In this episode, we go through his early childhood. We talk about his band White Feather as well too, and just how he got into joining the church and what that's looked like for him as an Indigenous person being involved in the church as well too. And it was a really amazing conversation. Mom and Rennie are related. It's actually our uncle. So it was a very special one for me, and it was one I was really looking forward to. And he's also been struggling with some health issues recently. So just prayers for him. He's an amazing guy. And I think without further ado, please welcome to the Our Storytellers podcast, Deacon Rennie Nahanee.
Hello, my relatives. How are you? Here at Our Storytellers, we care about your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being, which is why we want to inform you that this podcast discusses topics that may cause trauma to listeners and viewers. These subjects include mentions of Indian residential schools, assimilation, ongoing harm, colonial impacts, and much more. Our Storytellers recognizes the need to minimize risks associated with traumatic subject matter. The Hope for Wellness helpline offers immediate help to all Indigenous people across Canada. It is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to offer immediate support and crisis intervention. Services are available in English and French, and in Nehiyaw, Anishinaabe and Inuktitut upon request. If you or someone you know are experiencing any harm, no matter how big or small it's perceived to be, you can call the toll-free helpline at 1-855-242-3310 or connect to the online chat at www.hopeforwellness.ca. Kinanaskaman, I'm grateful for you. Your ancestors are always with you. All my relations, Riel.
You know, I read in somewhere that there's two kinds of people in this world. The ones that know shit and the ones that don't know shit.
I'm the don't know shit kind. Rennie, we have some protocol here for you. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and coming on and agreeing to be recorded. And we have some honorarium here for you. This is supplied by our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office,
okay,
who gave us a grant to fund these 20 podcasts. So, I've been living here for the past 6 years, and I'm Métis from Nehiyaw and Soto background, and my name's Riel, and all my family is actually from the prairies, but I joined the family when I was 11 years old, and Nick and Tyler and Brandon and T, they were my brothers and sisters, and it only felt right when we got the grant to make sure that it goes back to the nation that's raised me. So we wanted to make sure that I gave it to people from here, and I'll pass this over to you. We got some tobacco and this blanket, and please introduce yourself in your own way.
Okay. My name is Rennie Nahanee. I'm a deacon in the Catholic Church of Vancouver. I've been going to our church on the reserve for almost 40 years. When I went there as a child from elementary school, and only because this nun said, used to get everybody to raise their hands who went to church on Sunday. This is Monday morning. Everybody did except me. So I decided to go down to church. And what I saw was amazing. I seen a lot of elders there doing different jobs. And they become my mentors. They weren't doing it for money or anything. There was no talk of the residential school. They supported the church. They had these fundraisers. Something called potlatches, which wasn't exactly a potlatch as we know it today, but they raised money to keep the church fixed up. And they actually raised the church about 10 or 12 feet to put a basement there. It lifted the whole structure of the building
I didn't know
up
that.
like that. Yeah.
Okay, so it didn't have a basement originally.
No.
Interesting. When did they do that?
Probably about 50 or 60 years ago. I wasn't around for that. So that was pretty amazing.
Just gonna fix your mic quick here. 1 second. Boom. Good to go.
Okay. So I'm 73 now, and I get involved with a lot of elders on the reserve. And I don't mind saying what I need to say. But I wasn't always like that. I was very introverted, shy when I was young. Couldn't talk to anybody. But when you become a deacon in a church and you got to preach, well, you got to talk to people. And that's where I learned my talking skills.
You had to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and I've also been interviewed by different television shows, CBC, CTV, CBC radio, newspapers, those kinds of things. Sometimes they try and turn things in their direction, but I don't let them do that.
What was growing up like?
I think I had a pretty good childhood. You know, we weren't a rich family. Mom and Dad did their best. They fed us, got us clothing, had a roof over our heads. We had animals on the farm that we learned to take care of. I learned how to turn the eggs in an incubator so I could have some chickens. You just turn the egg a little bit,
Yeah.
and then eventually the chicken will work its way out of the shell. But you can't go there and try and do that yourself. It would be too soon. Same as butterflies. You never help them when they're trying to come out of their cocoon because their blood hasn't been circulating.
Oh, so they have to move.
Yeah. One day, I was down by the river. I used to play down by the river, by the family lot. And I found this turkey nest, and I grabbed all the eggs and I brought them up to Dad to show him. Dad, I found some turkey eggs. Well, I didn't look very happy. So he made me bring all those eggs back down and put them there. And luckily, they all hatched, or I would be in big trouble.
No.
We had kind of a farm,
Yeah.
lots of animals, a horse, pig. Sometimes I had to cut a chicken's head off. And you hold the chicken upside down by its feet so that the blood drains out. Well, this one time I was chasing a chicken around, I couldn't catch it. And Dad says to me, hurry up and catch it. You'll make the chicken worried. I thought, well, I would be worried too if somebody's chasing me with a knife. But it has something actually to do with the blood.
Oh, yeah.
It changes the blood somehow, poisons it.
Mm.
So I
Stress hormones. Eh?
well, chopping its head was not so bad, but sticking a knife in there, that wasn't so good. Dad taught me how to hunt ducks, 12 gauge shotgun. We all went picking berries down in the States. In my school, CKNW had this orphans fund. They would take us for a one day down to Birch Bay. We'd go on rides, they'd give us food. It was fun.
Can I ask a question about the berries? Why would they go all the way to the States to pick berries? You know what I mean?
Yes. Probably because we had a camp there.
Oh.
I don't think there'd be any camping places up here because people are so close. So we stayed down there all summer. That was my childhood labor. But I got my feed of strawberries and I got sick of them.
Did you for a while, yeah?
And there was one nasty person in front of me. They would get rid of their rotten strawberries, but they'd throw it in my lane.
Ah.
And I'm going up there on my knees and I'm getting that berries all over it.
Wow.
So my childhood, except for getting bullied at elementary school and junior high school and Carson Graham, those are the three things I didn't like. One time there was this dentist, they used to send dentists to our elementary school. And they would work on us. And one of them just had to make an example of me. He cleaned all my teeth except for the two top front ones. He says, tells me, you go home and clean the teeth. Well, I just went home to eat and I forgot all about brushing them. So what does he do? Right before class started, he brings me in front of the class and shows this is what happens when you don't brush your teeth. And that's a public shaming that was so prevalent in those schools. My dad used to also get me to dig out blackberry roots and stuff like that. So I probably could have smacked him. You know, but something prevented me from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Same as the other people.
What was your dad like?
He was very strict. Probably stricter with the girls. But Dad wanted to toughen me up one day.
Uh-oh.
He's giving me heck at home at lunchtime. And I was so angry I was crying on the way to school. Then another time he wanted to show me how to fight. Only he had to catch me. And then I had to slow down so that he could catch me.
You.
Why don't you just keep running?
It would have been worse.
It would have been worse. He had a big belt too.
He was on crutches, but you did have to give him a
He had mittens on him that were like that.
big hand, like really big hands. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too many people are like that today. So I don't think Dad was a totally good parent. One day this guy broke into our house in the evening. Dad stuck a shotgun out the door. And the police come down there. Lucky Dad got off with a warning, because Dad told him, "This house is my castle."
Yeah.
Well, at least the cop didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I helped my dad with the fishing, Fraser Canyon, Upper Squamish. In those days, you had to cut off the dorsal fin so that you couldn't sell it in a market. And we're up on the Squamish River one day, and Dad had all the fish in the trunk of his car, and the warden came with a sidearm. And I told Dad to open the trunk, and then he made my dad, my aunt, my mother throw all the fish back in the water. And then Dad was barbecuing some salmon over a fire, and the warden went and kicked that in the fire.
Jeez.
I didn't think he had to do that, you know.
It's terrible.
Why did he? Why? Did
Just
he?
to show he had some power.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To
Well-
this day, I don't like wardens.
Really?
Yeah.
Mom and Dad had their station wagon repossessed, bringing fish home for family too, eh?
Yeah.
Once.
He had to go to court too.
Right.
The lawyer was $200, and the fine was $25.
They get their pound of flesh, didn't they?
Yes. Well, I call the wardens and other people like them. They're laptop dogs of the federal government.
Right.
The same thing happened with the Mi'kmaq people. Went to court, they had the right to sell their lobster. When 12 years passed, nothing happened. They set up their own business. The non-native lobster fishermen came and protested, destroyed some property of the Mi'kmaq people.
Yeah.
And the cops are just sitting around. I thought, oh, gee, I'd like to get paid $80,000 a year to do nothing like those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But here's the twister. The native people, the Mi'kmaq people, bought the lobster business.
The business that buys the lobsters.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So those other lobster fishermen have to go hat in hand to sell
them.
their lobster to the natives.
Yeah. Well, turnabout's fair play, I think. As
Yes.
the saying goes.
Yeah. Just dessert.
Yep.
Where did you hear that story? Like,
In the news,
oh, really?
it was big all across Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And the man that won that court case, he was just an average person, but he wanted to do something for his people. So he won his case in court, but fisheries didn't do anything about that. They are the other lapdogs of the federal government.
Yes.
Don't do anything.
Yeah, I worked for fisheries for a period.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't include you on
I
that.
But I meant I found out how a lot of their operations work,
Yeah.
right? And it hasn't been favorable to Indigenous people at all,
No.
right?
Well, they took all our land, they took all our resources, and they haven't stopped.
Yep.
The fish are part of our resources, as well as the forest, as well as the oil, as well as the gas.
Yeah.
They never gave us one dime for that.
They sure given us lots of bills to pay in terms of guaranteed loans from the federal government of Indian Affairs. on projects like Sanok.
Yeah, well, that's very small change.
1.4 billion.
Yes. If you were to add up all the money that we would have got from resources for being land barons, we would be totally rich.
Billionaires. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you look at the fact that they're selling the Tomahawk restaurant for $6.5 million.
Oh, they are?
They are. It's a tiny little postage stamp piece of land, but it's
Yeah.
probably mostly land value,
Yeah, you're probably right.
right?
But it's a business and they have good faith, which means they'll still have customers
Mm-hmm.
if they don't tear it down.
Right.
Yeah, I went to the Mohawk a few times, but I can't eat their meals because they're too big.
Yeah. One's enough to feed a couple of you.
Oh, yeah, like a family.
What was your mom like?
My mother was very poor when she was young. She never got any toys or anything as a kid. She learned how to make baskets from her grandmother. And she would trade or sell the baskets for food and clothing. I read a letter one day that Rose had from our mother talking about how she got this old doll from somebody, a relative, and how she really treasured that doll.
Yeah.
I think, Mom always managed to get us a gift on Christmas Day, like one gift. One day I heard this kid say, I only got 7 gifts. I treasured just the one. I was happy for what I got.
Mm.
And then Easter time, she always had these candies that were bright, tasted really good for Christmas.
Ah.
Treats. And then on Easter, she would make these baskets, put this colored straw-like stuff in there with candies and maybe a toy or something.
Nice.
So she really thought about us, that despite her not really making any money because she wasn't working except at the cannery, but she probably saved her money. I think she did the best she could. And she was also a very good baker too. My father taught my mother how to make a pie. And for the pie, Mom used to make bread in the oven. And that was delicious bread. You took it out of the oven, it's steaming hot. You put butter on there and just enjoy that. Then she used to have these Tupperware parties
Yeah.
where you make money.
Yeah.
And then she would cook all these treats to give the ladies that came to buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there were some left over for us. The treats, I mean.
The goodies, right? Yeah. Not the Tupperware.
Yeah. I felt really bad for Mom. One day she was down Zellers and she wanted to buy a TV, but her credit wasn't any good. And I felt really bad about that. But I think maybe she enjoyed the last years of her life, Teresa took her down on holidays. She went to Paris or someplace where the Statue of Mary was and down South America, where first time our mother had ever been on a beach.
Mhm.
Some kind of bathing suit, I guess.
Mom and Dad took her to Rome, eh?
Yes.
She told him she wanted to go see the Pope.
She probably could have too.
I think she got to go to Vatican Square.
Yeah, you could see him way up in the window.
Far, far away.
Yeah, I've seen that. But I think because of our parents, we live a totally better lifestyle than they did. And Dad always had this saying, well, he had lots, but one of them was a good deed for the day. He told me one day that he used to help the elders with carpentry, electricity, fixing this and fixing that. And he said, nobody's going to remember this. And I didn't have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking now that I would remember, and God would remember, and those people that he helped would remember. So maybe I got my thing for helping people from my father. You know, the basket weaving from my mother, I asked her if I could help her one day. I couldn't even get the awl in the wood. She must have had strong hands.
Yeah, I've done some weaving, and I think she must have been she must have wicked strong hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, she did heavy domestic labor most of her life, cleaning the school and other things as well, baking,
Yeah.
making bread, making pies, all that work with her hands. She must have been really strong hands.
Well, she had a strong will too, because after St. Paul's School closed, it became our band office.
Right.
And she's cleaning, vacuuming, council's meeting, having their talks.
Yeah.
She goes in there, picks up the garbage, vacuuming the floor.
Around them.
And nobody said nothing.
They wouldn't dare, I think, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. I remember Granny as a child, so for me, I remember, I wasn't really old. I think it was about 8 or 9 when she passed away. So she was formidable
Yeah.
to me. She's Granny.
Yeah, they're both old school type people, mother and father. But I just know mostly from my dad that he would visit his relatives. They would talk and they would have tea and bun or something.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the kids of today who are pretty busy with their video games and stuff.
Like this. Eh? They're plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Emma's son Rockney was playing a game. I forgot what it was, but she asked if she could try. And she beat them.
I love it. That's funny.
What were your teen years like? What were you up to then?
Rock and roll. The Beatles came out when I was 12 years old in '64. My brother Lauren bought me these chord books. It's just for my birthday, and Teresa bought me a guitar and mic and amplifier.
Nice.
And I was terrible when I first started. It's like, rah! And sometimes Lauren's friend or Jason's friend would come by and make fun of me. Didn't mean nothing. At least I was trying.
You kept
Playing.
going.
Yeah.
And then Dad introduced me to Gordy, my longtime childhood friend, played bass. And there was another kid from the reserve, Johnny Paul. He played lead guitar. You had this drummer who I used to always argue with. I don't know why. Now, we had a gig coming up in Vancouver Island, Alert Bay, and this guy couldn't come. So Gordy asked his brother, who was 16 at the time. He joined us, and he did really good. We're just starting out.
Nice.
And I never called the other drummer back.
What was your band called?
White Feather.
What was the story behind the name?
It's trying to think of something that's different from all the other bands that were out there. Like somebody wanted purple something. That sounded pretty lame to me. And then my dad told me that to be called White Feather in the army was that you were chicken. But I spelled it W-H-Y, so it's not exactly white.
Mm.
And in the days when I went to high school, kids from all over British Columbia would come down to our school. That's what Indian Affairs did. And they asked me if I wanted to play here and play there. I said, sure. So one of the first places was Alert Bay. Second one was Bella Bella, I think. We flew in on this Mallard seaplane.
Yeah.
And I was scared the amps are, because it was windy,
Yeah.
I was scared the amplifiers are going to fall on us and kill us or something.
Wow.
But it was a lot of fun. Nice people up there.
Hey, my relatives, super quick pause in this episode of Our Storytellers just to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office. The Indigenous Screen Office supports Indigenous narrative sovereignty through storytelling on screen. They provide grants to small podcasts like us to support our growth and to support the guests that we can have come on. Big thanks to them. Please check them out on Instagram. Please check out their website. You never know, there might be an opportunity for you on there, especially if you're creating content. Get out there and check them out. Thank you so much to our partners at the Indigenous Screen Office. Back to the podcast.
How did you learn how to play? Because today we go to YouTube or whatever and we look it up and we can see other people playing it all the time. They'll teach you how.
Yeah, I learned to play by ear. The Beatles songs, which were my favorite at the time, it was pretty easy for me to pick out what chord they're playing. And then the chord book from my brother. So combining that, I learned how to play the songs from the radio. In those days, when you wanted to learn a song, you had to put on a vinyl record on a record player. Listen to it over and over again. One of the toughest ones was Louie Louie because I couldn't understand what the heck he was saying.
Sounds like he's mumbling in a way through part of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now all you got to do is look on YouTube or someplace like that. And
Plays the words and everything.
it's got the chords, lyrics,
Yep.
and you could play along with the band if you can sing that high.
Yeah.
We also played at a lot of nightclubs in Vancouver. And a lot of people from the Squamish Nation come over there and dance to our rock tunes and stuff like that.
Were you
Oh,
playing
nice.
covers or were you writing songs?
We're doing covers. You know, we had a chance to go to Japan
Oh, wow.
for one of those world festival things. But the guys were too much into drinking and stuff. And I thought, this is not going to do. So I just forgot all about it. Which is too bad, because we could have had native costumes like buckskin,
Oh, yeah.
like Redbone.
Yeah. Nice.
So it was a lot of fun, and I didn't go to university because of that, but I would probably do the same thing again.
Wouldn't change a thing.
What happens after White Feather? Like,
Got married,
oh, really?
quit the band.
Working?
Yeah, I had a job with my brother, gardening, landscaping.
Mm.
Wasn't that much money, but it was something.
Yeah, Jason.
Yes.
Yeah, he ran that, I think, for quite a long time.
Yeah. Jason got the contract for fixing up the cemeteries, and it would look beautiful after we finished it. And then they gave that contract to somebody in the band, and it just went back to the same old ugly thing it was before.
Aw. What a shame.
Yeah.
I know. He's a very talented gardener. Gardening's in our family too. Bobby was a really wonderful gardener.
Yes.
She just touch anything and it just would grow.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember Dad had these grapes in the garden. They were a little bit sour, but tasted good. Back in those days, we were probably eating a lot healthier by growing our own stuff.
Oh yeah, having a farm with
Yeah.
livestock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one time your dad came with us when Mom wanted to get some roots for her basket weaving. And she found this tree that had fallen over, and there was the roots. So your dad was cutting those off, and somehow the knife went flying into my dad's leg.
Oh jeez. Oh no.
I don't know if we went to the hospital or not. I think he probably put a Band-Aid on it or something.
It just kept going.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, back in those days, the only hospital that for Native people was St. Paul's.
That's right.
It was an Indian hospital.
Yes.
The one downtown?
Yeah, that's where I was born.
That's where I was born too.
Right? I think all the kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where Dad died.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
St. Paul's?
Yeah, he had a hemorrhage. They
Yeah.
wouldn't take him at Lionsgate.
They delayed, didn't
So
they?
they got him over there, but then he probably would have died anyway from the brain hemorrhage, which I think that he got when he was playing bingo somewhere and a chair fell backwards. So he would have had a concussion.
He hit his head.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I always thought it was when he fell in the kitchen. And he had I thought he had a heart attack or something, but
He was a pretty tough old man. You know, I don't think he ever used any medicines in his life.
no way.
Not like me. I got 16 right now, I think.
Holy.
Yeah. Keeps me going.
Yeah.
So I think Mom and Dad, you know, despite their old school way of parenting, I think they did good, and I'm grateful to them.
Mm. Did you know any of your grandparents?
No.
No, never met them.
Dad said that his father kind of mistreated his wife. So he said that he was buried in some far off graveyard.
Really?
Well, it turns out that he's buried down in Mission Cemetery.
So far off. He just told you that.
Yeah.
People in our family do that, you know? They
Well,
Misdirect things sometimes
I
when
know.
I get mad.
When me and Morris were kids, he was off filming this movie,
Yep.
and his dog got run over
Oh no.
on 3rd Street,
Yeah.
and I heard brakes, and I heard this thump, and I went across the street, and somebody had taken him off the road. This guy had a piece of glass, and he put it through the dog's nose, and there was no air coming out of there.
Oh no.
So the guy asked me, "Do you want me to take him to a vet?" Well, we didn't have any money to pay for a vet,
I know.
so I kind of grabbed him and threw him down the hill.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh.
oh no.
Oh.
I never told Maurice 35 years.
He's gonna watch this video. We can edit it out if you want.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh.
And when he did find out, he wasn't too happy.
Jeez.
Can I keep a secret or what?
That's priceless. Jeez.
I thought I was just waiting for the right moment to do that.
35 years for the
So when
right
did you tell him?
moment.
Not too long ago, about 5 or 10 years ago.
So his memory's a little
You know,
foggy these days.
it's not like something, when you're sitting at dinner and, oh, by the way, your dog. I think he really loved that dog, too.
Oh dear.
It was a black hunting dog.
A lab.
Yes.
Lab.
They used to use them to go get ducks after they're shot in the water.
Oh, he was like a duck toller. Like he would retrieve the
Yeah,
ducks
yeah.
for you guys. Oh yeah, he would have missed that dog.
Well, I didn't know he was so sensitive about it.
Well, it's not like you ran over the dog.
No.
You just knew about it. That's all.
I just couldn't get myself to say it. Your dog died, by the way.
Awkward moment.
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny.
Did your mom and dad ever tell you any family stories or anything like that? Like, or did they keep it kind of reserved?
That's a funny term.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I have my reservations about that too.
Oh, no.
No, Mom and Dad didn't really speak about their
Nothing.
younger days.
Yeah.
Just Dad and his father and mother and how she was mistreated. Dad did say one time when he was on council, chiefs and council, that they wanted to get rid of the Catholic people in the church.
Really?
And Dad told him, you get rid of the Catholics, I'm going to call the Mormons.
Oh,
You guys aren't
jeez.
Mormon, right?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Were the uncles and aunts around? Were your dad's brothers and sisters around?
They were, but I hardly ever seen them. I think I was in those teenage years where you don't think about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're doing your own thing.
But I remember Dad used to like to visit his sister Maud in Tsleil-Waututh, which we used to call Burrard.
Right.
And she let us park there and go down to the beach and dig up Dungeness crab and clams. I could give you a trade secret for how to find. Do you know how to find Dungeness crab?
No.
Okay, so
I'm
they
definitely not around here. I couldn't tell you anywhere.
okay, they bury themselves in the sand, and the area around where they're buried is darker than the surrounding sand, and it's kind of the shape of a crab.
I'm hiding but not hiding.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't
Can you see me yet?
they weren't very good hiders. One time, yeah, I'm not picking on Mo, but he got bit by a crab with the claws.
Ooh.
And he finally shook it off, and then he stomped the crab to pieces. He was really mad.
Wow.
Never grab a Dungeness crab by the front. You always grab the hind legs.
Yeah.
That's my trade secret.
Appreciate the trade secret.
I remember being on the beach with family as a little kid
Yeah.
when our family would go down to
Maud?
Burrard.
Mods.
Yep. Yeah. Maud was married to, who was she married to?
Well, I had 3 aunties down there. One of them was married to Denny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Maud might have been a widower at the time we were there.
Right.
But they always had got to have their tea and their toast or bun or something like that and talk.
Yeah.
And then they would go down and let us do our thing.
Do some crab.
And potatoes used to come in a big potato sack like that a long
Yeah.
time ago. And we'd fill those sacks with the Dungeness crab.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah.
And we would have a feast. And then the clams, you have to put raw oatmeal in there. You know why? Because they will spit out the sand. You eat the oatmeal.
Really? And then they won't be sandy.
Yeah, if
And
you've
really-
ever eaten sand, it is
Yes.
awful.
It's not. Yeah.
Really? That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Crazy. So they give them oatmeal to get them to expel the sand.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Wow. They say that we used to do clams only at certain times of the year. It was better.
Well, same as a crab, if they're going to have babies and stuff like that, you want them to continue.
Yeah. So you only actually harvest them at certain times,
You don't-
right?
You don't harvest the females
Yeah.
because they could have, I don't know, 10 or 12 eggs or whatever they are in them.
Right.
So we knew about conserving and stuff back in those days, or certainly my parents did. Oh, and in that river by our house, used to be salmon coming up there, and there was a tunnel on the river,
Yeah.
and I was trying to catch a salmon by throwing big rocks at it. I wasn't much of a fisherman.
Here,
Darn things would scoot away as soon as I threw the rock in.
When do you become a deacon?
It's a calling. I had been to that church most of my younger years, and I helped, same as my elders did. I did my part helping the church too. I did mostly funerals. I thought I would like to do more, like baptisms and weddings, stuff like that. So we had a new bishop came in, and he invited people to apply for a diaconate ministry, it's called. And I went to the first meeting, there was 100 guys there.
Wow.
I'm looking at them and I thought, well, that guy is too old. And that guy's too young, he's got a baby in his hands. Kind of checking out my competition, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I figured that if God wants me to be a deacon, well, he will make it happen. And I always thought that in applying for that and taking a year to think about it, 4 years of college. And I thought, this is what I want to do. And I graduated in 2015. St. Mark's College, UBC. I've done 2 baby baptisms. I haven't done any weddings. But I got to meet a lot of people. Mostly through my own volition, because the diocese didn't want me to travel on their dime to go back to
Really?
Ottawa or something.
Holy.
But somebody got me to take their place on this Canadian Catholic Aboriginal Council. So I did. They paid my way, they paid for the hotel, they paid for my meals,
Awesome.
and I got to meet these nice people. And through all the years, I met a lot of people. And I could also preach at the funerals.
Right. Yes, because you did talk at Mom's.
Yes.
Yeah, she asked you to look after those things.
Yeah. I was kind of sad when I couldn't make it to Teresa's because I was in a hospital. And a doctor wouldn't let me go. So I
Yeah.
just watched it on YouTube or whatever they have it.
Yeah, yeah. They were. What did they say?
Live
They were
streaming.
streaming it. They were live streaming it. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Teresa's
I-
funeral was.
they
was
could have
tough.
done a better job.
Yes, they could have.
I could have done a better job.
Exactly. I think you're right about
Yeah.
that, because it was very impersonal, and you know, they don't get in close. Like in those things, they should be closer and more, you know, kind of focused in, and then the audio should be better.
Did you always have faith your entire life? Like, always believed in God, or?
Yeah, because I was brought up in the Catholic Indian day school. And maybe Dad's good deed for the day. Me wanting to help people, speak for those who can't speak or don't know how to speak. I always go for the underdog. I think it's part of my calling. Because in the Bible, they talk about justice and things like that. In Canada, if you're a Native person, you don't have justice. That's why our institutions are full of Native people in there.
Yep.
Although some of them went in because they had 3 meals and a roof over their heads.
Stability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's a terrible way, but institutionalization is a thing with our people.
Yeah.
They're used to it, right? It's
Well, you're right, because my cousin, who went to residential school, said that prison was pretty much the same thing,
yeah.
minus the strap and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But of course, they would have other ways of punishing you.
Yes, they do. And people inside, they punish each other too. So I guess that wasn't much different than the way residential school was too, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the abuses inside were from other students against each other too, in some cases.
Well, there was this one guy, he had COVID, and he wanted to go and visit his reserve, and he did. And he gave that to his people. That's not thinking or caring.
Yeah. See, I was living in Alberta at the time, and the reserves out there actually set roadblocks at all the roads going into their reserves, and they blockaded people from coming. They had to pass through a checkpoint so they knew who you were and
Yeah.
if you lived there or why you were there. And you know, lots of people were turned away but they had like a huge amount of, and it was all the reserves,
Yeah.
in Alberta that were doing that, right?
Oh,
Setting up
that's a
those.
smart move.
Well, they were setting up those things, and yes, it was for protecting their people. They had mass vaccine campaigns where you could drive through for COVID testing. So their Musqueam's healthcare, where their ambulances were, they had a way for people to drive through the bay of the ambulance and get tested, and then they could go back out because, of course, Alberta in the winter can be quite cold, so they needed a way of testing in a big way and it was great because we could drive down there 10
Yeah.
minutes from home. You drive through, they do your test right away, and then you're on your way.
Yeah, I think I got COVID, and then that kind of ruined my voice
It impacted your voice.
and my lungs.
Yes, as well, eh?
Hmm.
Yeah. Ken got a fog. He got some kind of twitching with his eyes where he gets, I guess it's like a silent headache,
Yeah.
but it flutters, and then he has trouble focusing, and it can last like minutes before it settles and goes away. So he had a few like of those long haul symptoms that were going on as well.
I think Latash got that foggy brain from that.
That's what Delia was saying. I know, and she said she calls it his wayfinding. She said that he has he'll be okay most of the time, and then all of a sudden he just won't know where he is, or he gets confused, and he gets like this period where he's kind of struggling with a fog, and then it passes, but it's not consistent.
Well,
It's a little random.
what bothers him is his memory.
Right. So he can't actually remember in periods of things that are going on at the time too.
Short-term memory, but long-term, I think he probably still has that.
It's all there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, my relatives. If you're enjoying this podcast, or if you have any feedback on this podcast, please let us know, because we're always trying to get better at the same time. But especially if you're enjoying this podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think we have some really cool projects coming out that you might want to check out. Please follow us on Spotify. Share our reels as well too. That helps us out so much. And yeah, just check us out. Share the word. We're working really hard to keep this content coming for you. And the support helps us out so much, and we're so grateful. Thank you so much for listening. Back to the podcast. So, I don't know anything about being a deacon and nothing at all. So you go to college, you get out. What's next? What's the job essentially?
Okay, it's non-paying unless you do a wedding or funeral. But I serve at my church on Mission Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
On Mass on Sunday, I read the Gospel. Sometimes I look after the funerals down at Joe Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
And they pay me for that, like $150, I think, which is actually kind of low.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
It's
feel
less than honorariums. They pay each other,
Yeah.
to be honest.
But my way of helping people is not staying in a church and having Mass on Sunday. It's going out into the community and helping somehow there. Before I became a deacon, I was doing that already anyway. I set up our memorial monument for Remembrance Day by the church.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Barb worked on the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
And then we also worked on a monument at St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, the drum rings, right? And then all the names that were carved.
Yeah, Rose did the research on the names.
Yeah.
She got about 500. Some of them, they only have one name, like a first name.
Wow.
But that's Indian Affairs' fault.
Of course it is.
But I like helping people. It makes me feel good.
Do you have a favorite Bible story or anything like that?
Well, through my son, I was asking my younger son where his older brother was. And this is like, he quoted me from the Bible. He says to me, "Am I my brother's keeper?"
Oh no! Of course.
I was a little bit stunned at that, but he was right.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's kind of funny too that my dad used to quote from the Bible too.
Yeah.
Like he would say stuff like, "Man does not live by bread alone," but that's only half of it. It goes, "Man does not live by the bread alone, but by the word that comes from the mouth of God." So I finished that for him.
When would he use that? Like, when would he say that? Like, what is that supposed to mean?
It's an, am I my brother's keeper? Like, do I know where my brother is or what he's doing? I don't even know what my older son is doing right now.
But the bread alone one, like, men don't live by bread alone.
Yes. There's, bread is just eating stuff, but the word of God is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And people need to live by truth. We haven't always had that. We've been lied to a lot.
Sometimes in the name of God.
Well, the Americans, they used to
In
have
the
their
name of-
televangelicals.
Right. Yeah, they've twisted it in so many ways.
Oh, it's a moneymaker for them.
Yeah, that's
what?
true, eh?
I'm confused.
Yeah, the Americans are using those quotes from the Bible to raise money for themselves.
Yeah, so they put it to an advantage that's more about greed than about.
Well, one of their
word of God.
dogs had a air-conditioned house.
Oh, we're talking
Okay.
about the big pastors right now. Those guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
like the evangelists.
The ones that
like
fly on
TV.
private jets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The high flying, like what is it, Tammy Faye and those guys.
Yeah.
That kind of an evangelist type.
Yeah, people just sucking up that stuff.
Well, they,
I could never use words in a way like that. I only use the words from the Bible to explain something that was written in a reading from the gospel. But I do have a favorite American one, and it's talking about good versus evil. And this grandfather was talking to his grandson about the two wolves that are fighting inside us all the time.
Mhm.
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on, and then
Do you want to?
grandson says, "Which wolf wins, Grandpa?" And the grandpa says, "The one you feed."
Yeah.
That's pretty righteous.
Right. And that story goes that there's two wolves fighting in all of us all the time. The one wolf is good, one wolf is evil, and which wolf wins? The wolf you feed. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know where I heard that from, but I knew it.
Yeah, it's a good saying.
It's a
And,
story that
you
we've
know,
heard
like-
certain in our circles. Yeah.
What do you feed that wolf? Jealousy? Anger? That's the kind of thing that they're talking about.
Do you think there's any, I don't know, like any misconceptions about religion or anything like that? Like,
Yeah, I think those that went to residential school, instead of naming names, they blame the whole church. It's like tarn feathering everybody. If they're going to blame the church, then they should call out the names of the people that did those bad things, not the whole church, because I'm part of that church too, and I haven't done anything like that. sometimes in my services, I have a little bit of humor. Another childhood friend died, Vern Baker, lacrosse player. And my friend from the Shaker Church, he calls the coffin a canoe. So I'm talking to the people and I tell them Vern's in his canoe, he's paddling by himself, nice sunny day, water's calm. And then he hears another paddle in the water, and another one, and another one. And Vern is very competitive, so he starts working on it.
Faster.
And I get the people, cheer him on! So they're all cheering on Vern. And I said, he's there now. And people were cheering. Our neighbor who died, Judy Baker, she's an Anglican, so we didn't have a Catholic service, but I went there anyway, and I sang a song for her. And really touched people. It's called My Way. Do you know that one?
By Frank Sinatra?
Yeah.
I did it my way.
Yeah.
That was definitely Judy Baker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the people, some of them were cheering when they recognized the song and her life.
Yeah.
So, I was grateful for doing that. Oh, they wanted to put me playing with everybody's eating.
Yeah.
I said, I can't do that.
Want to eat.
No, I
No.
just don't like playing in front of people that are eating.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
Yeah. And the effect of the song would not be the same as the people that are sitting out there and listening.
Right.
Can I ask you a question? What is a Shaker church?
The Shaker Church is a native church. That started by a man in Washington State. They didn't embalm people in those days. And he had died. And he'd actually gone to heaven, if they call it that. And then God told him it was not his time. But I want you to bring this message to the people about praying and living a good life and no drinking. And the man came back. He came back to life in the casket.
Oh.
So imagine, bang, bang, bang.
Let me out.
Let me out, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
And so from that, now they have their own bishops. They do weddings. They do funerals, and a few other things. I haven't worked with them, but I've done the Catholic service, and then Eugene does the Shaker service.
Right.
So it's a bona fide religion down the States, and has come up to Canada too. It's recognized as a religion.
And they're biblical, so they follow the Bible. Maybe.
Sort of. I do the readings before. And so Eugene listens to what I'm saying, and then he adds his interpretation of it onto those
okay.
Bible readings.
Okay. And they
Otherwise,
use
they
bells,
just
right?
sing songs.
Yeah, they sing and they use bells and stuff too, right?
Well, they used to have bells on their feet and dance.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Uh-huh.
But they use the candles to take away the light. Eugene does his thing, talks to the people. He also does burnings. You know what that means? Yeah. So if there's a message from those that have gone already, he will relay that to the family members that need to hear that.
Maybe tell the listener what a burning is, too.
Okay. So Native people, there's two things that are done for them after they've passed, and a certain amount of time has gone by. That they need clothing and they need food to eat. The clothing is burned and somehow becomes the clothing of the spirit world. The food is for feeding the native people that have died already. And they eat very little, but they like to have some of the food that they liked when they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes they will give a message to Eugene to pass on to the people. One time, when they discovered the children's grave in Kamloops, these people were putting shoes and dolls and candy and stuff like that on the courthouse in Vancouver. They put it on our church, and they put it at St. Thomas Aquinas, the old convent. So months and months go by, and they're starting to get weather worn. And a teacher at St. Thomas Aquinas wanted to gather all those shoes and everything and throw them in the garbage. And
Yeah.
Eugene told him, "You can't do that. That is a gift to them, and they're going to wear it after it's burned." So teachers didn't know anything about that. And the same as the shoes down on the steps on the church, they're burned,
They're burnt.
and these are part of their clothing.
So then we would do a burning. We did a burning for those.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's probably just a little bit of our spirituality that we have that has been lost, but somehow we need to reclaim and bring back. Like at Totem Hall in Squamish, they restarted where they used to bring the body in one way, one door, and then go out the other door.
Right.
That way the spirits won't stay in the room.
They would pass through.
They would just follow. Yeah.
Oh,
And they started to do that at Joe Matthias too.
good.
That's part of our tradition. Did they have a burning for Barb too?
They did. I was told about it, that they held it after I left the province. So
Yes.
I think Nick went to it.
Mm-hmm.
Your
I think.
Nick went.
Yeah.
your grandma burned for my dad
I remember her.
on
doing
Halloween.
that. I remember her doing that. I was
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oh, were you?
Yep.
What'd she do?
I remember her gathering things and putting them there, and I didn't know what she was doing, but she said she was sending stuff to Grandpa. I was a little kid, so I really didn't understand what it was. Like, it took me decades to figure out
Yeah.
what that was that she was doing.
You're sending these burning clothes to Dad?
I'm like, well, in a child's mind, I mean, I didn't understand, like, lighting it on fire, how it was going to get to him. And I kind of was like, because it's kind of the first time I had seen anything like that, I didn't have context to what I was experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
And it took like a really long time before I started seeing that, because when Granny died, and we were not as involved in family and community after that for a very long time.
Yeah, I think she died in Aruba.
Yeah, and then they had to bring her home. Well, she was with Teresa and Trinidad.
Yeah, she was
She took-
decaying by the time they got her here.
Well, yeah, because they had a hurricane where she was. They had and Teresa was stuck with, like, had to wait with her for quite a while before they would clear her and the body, and they didn't have time to they didn't properly look after things. So, you know, like Granny died, a lot of the stuff around the family kind of started to disperse, and I think we moved away. Like we were Kamloops, Bridge Lake, and kind of away after that for a while. So
Yeah.
I moved back to the coast when I was a teenager, but my contact was kind of intermittent with family. So I didn't
Yeah.
see a lot of our ceremonies or cultures until I was already quite a bit older.
She was in a different country when she passed away.
She was in a different country when she passed away. They had to bring her home. Teresa was with her because she had taken her. It's like Rennie was saying that Teresa took her on holidays in the later years, like after, you know, because Teresa was starting to make some good money. So she came home and took her mom on trips.
That's
And-
kind of her.
Yeah, and did things like that, right? So, well, I think all the kids were used to sharing their money with the family, right, and looking
Yeah.
after things, because they were always very generous in that way, right?
Yeah.
Making sure.
Well, apparently, Dad used to visit Mom after he passed away
Yeah.
because he would sit on the end of her bed, and I guess Mom could see the
Indentation of them sitting
indentation
there.
of that. So what does she say? She says, "Get out of here."
Jeez. Move on. Yeah.
But the time that Dad and some of the boys got in a train accident down here, Mom was really sad and scared when they called her that there'd been an accident on the train tracks.
Wow.
Luckily, nobody got hurt, but the truck was certainly damaged.
Wow. Wow.
I think in our own ways, you know, we did care a lot about each other. We just didn't use the word love.
It wasn't spoken in the family.
Wasn't. I
No.
never heard it.
You know, I'd already had my kids before, and they were little when my mom finally said it. Said, "I love you."
Oh,
Yeah, it took a long time.
not 35 years though, eh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was 32 when I had Tasha,
Yeah.
and 37 or 30, so when I had Tyler, 37, 38, something like that. So, you know, I was already well into being an adult and a parent before Mom uttered the words. And it's only because of the grandchildren that she started to, you know, come around. But it took a really long time. She wasn't given to sharing emotional affection or love, and it never happened. We didn't have it as kids.
Could I tell a story of something you said?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Of
Okay.
course.
Bruce used to swear a lot. And one day,
Bruce is Yvonne's dad.
yes, that's correct. So I guess Yvonne didn't know any different. She had this happy face, looks at my dad and says, "Hello, Grandpa, you son of a bitch." And I think Dad was a little shocked, but I think he thought it was funny. Well, I thought it was funny.
I bet all of you guys thought that was funny.
Been saying that for years.
I've been swearing at my dad. Wow.
Oh, Grandpa.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm
Oh.
swearing at your dad.
Oh, yeah.
What was Bruce like? Because I guess you got to hang out with him a little bit.
Well, I loved his storytelling.
Really?
Yeah. And even though he probably told the story 2 or 3 times, I still
100
listened to it
times.
like it was the first time.
Yeah.
Like this one story. He was driving this great big dump truck up in the mines. And there was something wrong with the truck. So he refused to drive it. And the foreman wanted him fired. So there was a big discussion between the boss, foreman, and Bruce. And the boss sided with Bruce because that truck would have probably went over like $1 million truck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was a good move. And then Bruce did a lot of hunting. He said one time they were all laughing. They seen this guy coming into town. He had this animal on top of his roof. Well, it was a donkey.
He hunted a donkey.
Yeah, I guess he thought it was a young moose or something.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And he still brought it home.
Yeah. Tacoma ass.
Jeez. Oh, that's terrible.
And then he's shooting, target practice. A lot of medals.
He told me a lot about that. That's what I remember the most about him.
He had so many medals. Yeah.
A sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a good shot.
I think they always came home with a ham or something like that.
Oh, he used to love to go to the turkey shoots in Langley, and they banned him
Oh, is that right?
because he kept winning everything.
Yeah, marksman, eh?
I know, so they banned him from coming and competing.
Spoil sports.
I know. That gave him a lot of pleasure to go there and
Yeah.
win everything.
Playing with amateurs.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Dad, eh? He was definitely.
And he was also telling his story about when he was a soldier. And they're firing a machine gun, turned red hot from all the shells coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And soldiers were lighting their cigarettes from the super red hot machine gun.
The barrel.
Yeah.
Because he was from Switzerland, so he had to be in the army.
They
It was
had to-
mandatory 2
Yeah.
years, yeah. Yeah.
And then him learning how to slice and dice animals when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And then he ran into somebody from BCIT. It took a 6-month course. And this guy cut one of the best steak parts of a cow and made it into hamburger. That's expensive meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have upset Dad a lot.
Yeah.
He had special terms for those kind of people.
And he always wore his cowboy hat,
Yep.
which I thought was pretty cool.
I remember when we were kids, he used to take us to White Rock, and he'd have his cowboy boots, his Speedo, and his cowboy hat.
Speedo?
Yeah, he'd wear his Speedo. We'd be down to the beach. There
No,
was
I
Dad.
can't get that out of my mind.
Yeah, Speedos were a little bigger in those days than they are now.
No more Speedo jokes. But he had a lot of interesting stories. You know, I would say he had a pretty full life.
Yeah.
What was he like? Because he's from Switzerland. Like, what? He lived in the community for a long time, right? When they were allowed to come back, right? When Granny was allowed to come back after
Well,
Bill C-31.
oh yeah, after Bill C-31, yes, because
So then they lived here for a long time after they got their house.
Yeah, I think he helped in the community when we had our salmon barbecues.
Yeah.
Cut them up real nice. And then in other communities like Kitsilano, we cut over there. And one day these white guys, they were drunk and they had a knife on them, like this big, right? And they're like threatening Bruce. Bruce takes out his knife. This is a real knife, like a Rambo one.
Big butcher knives that are like 2 feet long.
Yeah, so
And
they left with their tails between their legs.
Yeah. Because the whole family did those barbecues in those
Yeah.
days, right? Like all of you guys, because you were all kids and teenagers at
Yeah.
various ages. So everybody did the work, right?
I was the stick cleaner. I was the head stick cleaner.
There's a lot of sticks to clean.
Yeah, but sometimes there's a nice little piece of fish on
Oh, you'd
there.
have
So I
something.
got to eat that.
Oh, so you check the sticks before you actually cleaned them. So.
Yeah, and they never gave us anything to eat. We're helping down there for nothing.
Really?
They're just selling
I thought
it.
you guys at least got fed.
Hey, that was your bonus on that stick.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what he said. They have food.
And that was delicious.
Would you like to be a guest on Our Storytellers? Because all you have to do to connect with us is just email info@ourstorytellers.ca and we will get back to you as soon as possible. That sounds like a voicemail, which I think is hilarious. But if you email us, we'll give you a call and we'll listen to your story and we'll probably film it. So please reach out to us if you're interested in being a guest, because we love to share stories from all walks of life, from all different experiences. We think that everybody's story is valuable and that you can learn from anybody's story. So please email us and we'll schedule a call with you as soon as we can. That also sounds like a voicemail, but back to the podcast. How would they make the salmon? You told me about this before, but they would put sticks and like roast. They would barbecue it over a fire.
Yeah,
Like
the
that's the
barbecue
flavor
over
it is.
fire. My dad kind of revolutionized the whole bar and stick thing because he had them weld nails on this long bar where all the sticks would go, so they'd all have a little slot to sit in once they put the salmon fillets on the stick, and then they would lean up against there, so they'd be just at the right angle to get the smoke and the heat and cook perfectly to absolute perfection. It is the best way to eat salmon.
Really?
Yeah.
On
Barbecued on a
sticks.
fire.
On
Alder-
those sticks
It was alderwood. That's the flavor.
of the wood, right, that you burn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't need a big fire because the rocks were red hot. So that's cooking the fish. We even cooked at the P&E one year. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember serving salmon, potato salad, and corn on the cob, and a bun
Yeah.
for hours and hours and hours.
Anyone could come to the barbecue. You're just giving out food.
When they
No,
were
no, we're selling it.
they were
Oh.
selling it at the P&E, they had a food thing with an open pit fire barbecuing salmon.
Whoa, they should bring that back.
Yeah. But there was,
Well, I mean, it was Jason and Winnie and Ben and Rose and all those guys had put up the whole thing to coordinate it all, and it was way back in the day when they were young, and they had lots, like all the kids were really little, so it was a big kind of family thing, right?
It was a family business.
It was a family business, yeah. I worked a whole summer. I worked every day doing that so that I could save all my money to buy one leather jacket from Danier at the stand across from where we were selling barbecued salmon. And then I wore that thing in minus freezing weather in Kamloops to go to school because I wanted to look so cool. It was just awful.
yeah.
Ah,
One time we were cooking up in
to be 13
Penticton,
again.
and this native lady comes by and says, because I think we might have been using gloves or just our hands. She says the traditional way is to use maple leaves to turn the sticks. Well, she knocked over about 10 sticks using her traditional ways.
Oh no.
Oh,
We didn't
They charge
require her services after that.
Jesus.
So they would.
Holy.
So there'd be a big bar in the middle, and you put the salmon on the stick like this,
Yeah.
and then you lean it up like that,
Yep.
and then you just go.
No,
No, one side.
One side, all
Only
the way
one
down.
side?
Well, it had nails sticking out of it, so they'd be out about 1/4 of an inch. So when you put the stick there, it wouldn't bounce or slide into the other stick. It would sit in between 2 nails.
Oh, so there would be okay. So the nails were welded on here like this,
They were welded onto the bar
and then you take a
at
stick and go,
intervals.
and it was an alder stick, and you.
It was an ironwood stick. It's a very it's a type of wood that doesn't like
Doesn't burn.
burn.
Ironwood?
Yes, they call it's ironwood, but there is an actual
But
name for it. So I'll find it.
It's not alder?
No, the alder is the wood they burn in the fire
In
to
the
create
fire.
the coals to create the heat to cook the fish.
Oh.
I think there's a
I'm learning right now.
I think there's a picture of that barbecue. It's right in the foreground.
Yeah. There's one down in front of St. Paul's Church, and then there's one at the Steveston Salmon Queen festivals where they used to be.
Yeah.
There's pictures of those barbecues. I posted one on Facebook like a really long time ago because I found it and it was like awesome.
That is so cool.
Yeah. But
We gotta bring that back.
Those barbecues were phenomenal.
I'm gonna put one in my backyard.
Yeah, you just got to get some rocks or sand.
Yeah, build a back thing for it, and then a place to put your big pole to go over and have your sticks.
So there would be a back to it?
Well, the back's where the fire, because when you put the rocks and stuff like that, the heat would radiate up against the sticks.
And then go towards the sticks.
Exactly.
So there'd be like a back wall back here of rocks.
Yeah.
And then you have to get a alderwood, maybe a cord or something like that.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have enough wood to keep that fire going.
How do you know when it's done? How do you know when the salmon's done?
Oh, there's a white stuff that comes out of the meat.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, right? It starts to come out, then it's to perfection.
And you can see the crispiness of the skin, but it's not tough.
Yeah.
And just put a little bit of salt and pepper on there, and you can eat it just like that.
Yeah.
The flavor is coming from the fish and the smoke.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. It's so yummy. So yummy.
We gotta be doing this.
We gotta be getting fresh fish again is what we gotta be getting. We haven't had fresh fish in allotments for such a long time.
Well, they're going to be teaching how to fish down there.
I think this year's the big run. The biggest run is supposed to come back this year.
We're gonna get
that's
another
good.
one. That's good because
There's some going up now, but they're small.
just starting.
Yeah, but when I take that lesson, you don't have to pay for a fishing rod or nothing. You just take the course and you keep the fish. And then I'll come over here and barbecue.
I build my
You better
barbecue.
get the pit ready.
Yeah. Gotta build my barbecue.
Yeah. You and Brandon out there building a little pit.
Me and Brandon fighting, building a little pit.
No, not that way. No, not that way.
Yeah, just make sure that it's not fire season.
Yeah.
I've had a few fires shut down here by the. Actually, we're not even allowed to have a fire here.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Can't even have like a pit.
No pits,
No.
nothing. In West Vancouver bylaws, for some reason apply here. So we can't have a fire pit.
That's ridiculous.
Only right over there. To be fair, I'm glad it was banned because at the time we were lighting fires, we were total idiots. So we should have never did that in the first place. So fair enough. But now I would like to have one.
When we were
We're trying to
up
burn flooring.
when we were up at fasting camp, the last fasting camp in January just passed. I was admiring one of our elders that comes, Lloyd. His camp, they have a big octagonal shaped metal unit that's like a fire pit, so it sits in the ground where they create the fire inside. It's all screened with mesh like grating all the way around. It's got animals like welded on this thing, and then it's got 2 big doors that they open so they can go in and do things in the fire, but it is set up in such a way that the coals are not can't shoot out, because it also has a top on it as well.
Screen.
It's all screened.
Yeah.
But they take it out in the bush, and that's their campfire, like their main campfire for when they're out in the bush.
So they can't start any fires.
You can't start any fires. It's really an ingenious thing. It's lovely.
Well, it would take maybe an hour or less than an hour to barbecue salmon. So just cook it, put the fire out, and eat.
Yep.
Alder wood.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's part of our tradition too.
So you said that Grandpa played instruments.
Yes. Played the piano,
Mhm.
and he had this boogie style, which is pretty cool. I never learned how to do that, although I do play notes on the piano now,
Yeah.
chords and stuff. He played guitar, the uke, and he sang too.
That's right.
I think one of his favorite tunes was Love Me Tender by Elvis.
Yes.
Understandable. That's understandable.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had good taste in music.
Yeah, it's too bad nobody else in the family got into music then. It could have been like an Indian Partridge Family or something.
An Indian Partridge Family, yeah.
You know what's interesting though is that everybody in the family, the first thing we talk about is always music. Iris was over here talking about
Yeah.
music. Granny would always talk about music.
Yeah.
You know,
They love music, they just didn't play.
Yeah.
Kalijah.
I tried playing the
Wooden
guitar
Indian.
when I was a teenager, but it didn't go too far.
Oh, Barb was talking about that, of this boyfriend or somebody that wouldn't talk to her at a store she was working at. So the song Kalijah is about the one Indian that couldn't talk, but his face could turn red for some reason. And then his woman got sold to somebody. I hate it when that happens.
So what does ceremony mean to you? Would you say?
I think it's tradition, culture,
Mm-hmm.
something that's been passed down from our elders. Like the men would teach the boys how to hunt, things like that. And women would teach, they're called knowledge keepers. Although a friend of mine calls them knowledge sharers,
Wow.
because they teach the young people, young girls, how to knit and how to make clothing and stuff like that. So ceremony, it's not just things that took place in the past, but it's new ceremonies, because we've lost so many stuff. We have to bring it back and maybe invent new things. We're not trapped by our past, although some of those things did work.
Waking up some of it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we know enough about spirituality in people that are passed on, and how some of their spirits stay here with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like at Joe Matthias Center, one of the custodians, he had a daughter who played down there. She went up to the attic, and he could hear her laughing up there and talking to somebody. Well, there's nobody up there. It was the spirit of a ghost. My friend that passed away, his daughter was doing the same thing, laughing and playing in a room. And it was his parents that were talking to the child. We don't know enough about that. The Christian world tells us that they've died and they've gone to purgatory, or they've gone to heaven, or the smoking part.
Right.
So I think we should learn that because,
How to sing them home, how to help them go.
well, some of them need to have some things done.
Yeah, they need work done, right?
Well, one of my nephews died in a car crash. They were drinking. And his spirit came back and was looking for this wedding ring. And everybody searched the house all over the place and they found it.
Wow.
And that was the end of the visits.
He found what he needed. He could go.
The ring would have went to a family member or somebody that needed that.
Yeah.
And then we don't know where this food burning, cold burning came from, or why we still carry on that today. So our ties to the spirit world are very strong.
Right.
But it doesn't consume our lives. It's just that we care for people that have passed on. And that's biblical too. Because in the Bible, people that were going to war gave money or they had some personal objects they wanted to give to the family. So it's a biblical thing, but it doesn't mean we learned from it. It just means that where we are in this part of the world, our environment, our type of animals we eat, the fish we eat, our houses, our canoes, are by us. So that's the, but we're still missing some things. One time, I don't know if you remember April or not.
I do, actually.
Yeah. She didn't know I was coming with me when I played in the band, and one night she stayed home in a rocking chair. You heard the door open, and she said she seen this man standing there with crutches, looking at her. Didn't say anything. That was Dad.
Yeah.
She's sitting in his chair. And I think I've only seen his spirit once. I had this super bad headache. I was in town for overnight. I come back and I looked up at the window where he usually was, playing cards and smoking. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure I seen him there. And when I come in, I said, "Oh, where's Dad?" And then they told me he passed away. And yet I just seen him by the window. And that's the only time I ever seen him.
Yeah.
In death. But I think because I didn't go to residential school like my siblings, I got more of a chance to spend time with my parents. I remember Dad liked to sit out on the front porch, smoking his cigarettes with no filter on there. And he said it was the twilight time of day. And that's the time of day that he liked to sit out there. Not talking very much, but just thinking, reviewing stuff. I remember one time he told me this story. He liked to watch Perry Mason, the lawyer.
Yeah.
And he heard this term of the lawyer, conflict of interest. And he was at a council meeting and all these big shot lawyers were there talking this and talking that. And Dad thought about the situation and Dad said, "We can't do that." Of course, the other councilors were kowtowing to the lawyers because they knew everything.
Yeah, so they said.
So my dad said, "There's a conflict of interest here." And the lawyers all left because of that TV show.
What was the? I just want to grab this story off you, but what do you remember about your mom burning for when he passed away?
I only remember once it was Halloween, and I was quite younger too.
Mm.
So I didn't understand what that was all about, although I do now. Most people hire somebody today to do that. And Mom just did it by herself, maybe from her teachings, from the Stolo people. So she realized that people that have passed on, especially family, they have requirements like clothing and food.
Yeah.
And she did that. And I think that was one way of expressing her love for my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she might not have said the words, I think the intent was there.
What do you want people in my generation to start doing today, start actioning today?
I think they should be respectful of their elders. I think they should talk to the elders. I think they should help each other in the community on a volunteer basis. 'Cause a lot of my work has been volunteer, and I don't mind doing that. Because I knew what to do and what was required. I could make some things happen, like the monument, for example, memorial monument by the church. And the young people, when they help others, it'll be something that they will remember for the rest of their lives. Not like my dad when he says nobody will remember. Well, you know that you did something good. You helped somebody when in their time of need, and you didn't require payment. You my late cousin Jimmy had this expression. He was a soldier in World War II, and he said there was a job to be done, and we did it. There's still a lot of things that young people can do. And for me, as an elder, I love to see the young people in our community doing stuff. It's one day I was coming from the church and there was a school bus in front of me, and there was these two girls in the back, and they're laughing and talking to each other. And then one of them turned around and looked at me, smiled, and waved. And I waved back and I smiled too. And the goodness of my heart, it was very good. Just that one smile, and I thought they will never have to go through the stuff that I went through. So I think helping out in the community with whatever you know, your knowledge, can help a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because two of the treasures on this reserve are the young people and the elders. The elders are the history of our people, and the children are our future.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look out for the future.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you.
Okay.
Let's go play some guitar.
All right.
Really,
you so
really
much for
grateful
coming.
that you came and sat with us and had a chance to visit.